Canada Migrant Crisis 2025, Work Permits Expire as Backlogs Soar. Canada is facing a migrant crisis in 2025 as work permits expire and immigration backlogs grow. Thousands of foreign workers are stuck in limbo, unable to renew their status in time. The delays are straining lives, industries, and trust in the immigration system. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. Canada Migrant Crisis 2025. Canada, long celebrated for its welcoming stance on immigration and universal healthcare, is facing a mounting crisis. Thousands of migrants are losing their legal work status due to unprecedented delays in processing work permit renewals. As backlogs grow and immigration rules shift, families are left in limbo, unable to work, access healthcare, or secure a stable future. The plight of Canada Migrant Crisis, a dream deferred. For many migrants, Canada represents opportunity, a chance to build a better life through hard work and determination. However, prolonged delays in renewing work permits are shattering these dreams. Migrants who have paid taxes and contributed to Canadian society are now unable to work legally, access healthcare, or enroll their children in school. The emotional and financial toll is immense, with some families facing impossible choices: return to their home countries, work illegally, or fall prey to exploitative employers. Take Devi Acharya, a mother from India who arrived in Canada in 2022 with her husband and young son. The family settled in British Columbia, where Devi worked as a housekeeper, and they purchased a home. But when their work permits expired while awaiting a labor market impact assessment, their lives unraveled. Devi suffered a miscarriage but couldn't afford medical care without health coverage. Her son, now 5, can't attend school. 2 years ago, we dreamed of making Canada home, Devi said. Now, it's shattering. Devi's story is not unique. Across Canada, migrants are grappling with similar challenges as processing times for critical immigration documents triple, leaving families in legal limbo. Why are work permit delays happening? The root of the crisis lies in a perfect storm of increased applications, shifting immigration policies, and bureaucratic inefficiencies. According to data from Canada's Employment and Social Development Canada, the processing time for LMIAs required for most temporary foreign workers has skyrocketed from 58 business days in September 2023 to 165 business days by March 2025. Some applicants, like Devi, have waited over a year without a response. Key factors driving the backlog. Surge in applications. The number of migrants applying for work permits within Canada has risen significantly compared to previous years. ESDC attributes this to heightened demand for the temporary foreign worker program, particularly from those seeking permanent residency. Changing immigration rules. Canada's immigration policies are in flux. In response to public concerns about strained public services, the government has tightened rules and introduced caps on immigration. These changes have created confusion and increased scrutiny of applications, slowing processing times. Bureaucratic overload. Service Canada, responsible for processing LMIAs, is overwhelmed. An internal email revealed that as of April 1, 2025, the department was still processing applications submitted a year earlier. Policy misalignment. While Canada's Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada states that migrants can work while their applications are processed, this hinges on securing an LMIA within 60 days of applying for a work permit renewal, a timeline that's now impossible for many. Immigration consultant Kunwar Sierra, who has worked with dozens of affected families, described the situation as unprecedented. "We're seeing backlogs of over a year for the first time," he said. "People are losing their status, and some are forced to work under the table or rely on bad advice from unscrupulous actors." The broader context: Canada's immigration shift. Canada's immigration system has long been a global model, balancing economic needs with humanitarian values. However, recent years have seen a shift. Public frustration over housing shortages, healthcare wait times, and job competition has fueled calls to curb immigration. Migrants, once welcomed as vital to the economy, are increasingly scapegoated for systemic issues. In response, the Liberal government, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, has pledged to cap immigration levels ahead of the April 28, 2025, election. The government aims to reduce the migrant population by encouraging voluntary departures, but this strategy hinges on migrants losing status and leaving a process critics call inhumane. The government's earlier promise to regularize undocumented migrants has also faltered. Initially, the Liberals committed to granting status to undocumented individuals, particularly those in essential sectors like healthcare and construction. However, the plan was scaled back to a limited program, leaving many without a path to stability. The consequences of losing status. Losing legal work status in Canada has far-reaching implications. Economic impact. Migrants who can't work legally often turn to under-the-table jobs, where they face exploitation and unsafe conditions. This also deprives the government of tax revenue. Healthcare access. Without status, migrants lose access to Canada's universal healthcare system, forcing them to pay out-of-pocket for medical care or avoid treatment altogether, as Devi did during her miscarriage. Education barriers. Children of affected families, like Devi's son, are often unable to attend school, disrupting their education and integration. Mental health toll. The uncertainty and financial strain take a heavy emotional toll, with many migrants reporting anxiety, depression, and hopelessness. Undocumented population growth. Canada's undocumented population, estimated in the hundreds of thousands, is growing as more migrants lose status. Living undocumented is challenging in Canada, where services are tightly linked to legal status. What's being done to address the crisis? The Canadian government acknowledges the backlog but has offered limited solutions. ESDC predicts processing times will improve within 6 months, citing efforts to streamline operations. However, without concrete data on pending applications or a clear plan to address the backlog, skepticism remains. Immigration advocates are calling for urgent reforms. Extend work permits automatically, allow migrants to continue working while their applications are processed, regardless of LMIA delays. Increase processing capacity, hire more staff and invest in technology to handle the influx of applications. Clarify rules, simplify and stabilize immigration policies to reduce confusion and delays. Pathways to status. Expand regularization programs for undocumented migrants, particularly those contributing to essential sectors. Prime Minister Carney's immigration cap proposal has drawn mixed reactions. Supporters argue it's necessary to ease pressure on public services, while critics warn it risks alienating skilled workers and harming Canada's reputation as a migrant-friendly nation. As work permits expire and backlogs show no sign of easing, thousands are left in legal and financial limbo. This crisis isn't just about delays, it's about real people losing jobs, homes, and hope. If Canada wants to uphold its reputation as a fair and welcoming nation, bold action and systemic reform are urgently needed. Temporary workers deserve more than uncertainty, they deserve answers. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.